Hello everyone, I am Tacet and welcome to the Gems of War Raids Week 8 Day 7. As you guys know, we've already claimed our orbs and actually completed out the game mode yesterday, but of course it is a Sunday, so we have all of the information for tomorrow's event. So let me just go and bring that right on up. I believe it is right there, and let's start going over it. So next week event, actually not that bad. Has a lot of really good armor tiers in it. Of course, the weapon's going to be one, but there's also a, for the first time ever, a invasion troop that's specifically going to be having it. It's actually so good that it's probably going to be used with outside of invasions as well. But normally they aren't really used outside. Hopefully they would do this more often, where they actually are usable in other game modes other than just what they're brought into. But let me actually go make this... There we go. Oops, that's not what I want to do. I want to make it go on the side. Why does it never do it when I want it to? There it goes. It always does what I don't want it to do. But that should work then. Anyways, so Old Man Oakroot. This is the invasion troop for next week, and it's not horrible. It's of course accumulated by the normal means. You would spend gems on it on the packs to get more invasion battles, but you'd also eventually get some copies of him throughout the packs. But he is a 12 mana cost, green, yellow. He destroys all of an enemy's armor, which is already pretty good for 12 mana, and then deals damage to them. And if they are a tower, of course, does the standard 3 times to 5 times. This is enough to basically one-shot every tower in the game, so that's pretty powerful in itself as well, assuming they don't have barrier, of course. And yeah, that's basically everything it gets. It's really similar to a Grave Knight, except better. It's 12 mana cost, just like a Grave Knight. It's different colors. Grave Knight is brown-purple. This thing is yellow-green. And, oh wait, did they make Grave Knight 11 or 12? I forget if they raised her or not. But basically, it's almost the same mana cost as a Grave Knight. But yeah, outside of invasions, it could still be used for that as basically a yellow-green armor tier. Other than that, it summons a Leaf Storm when an enemy dies. So as soon as you get a kill from it, boom, more green for him. He has 33% reduction, which makes him a lot tankier than the Grave Knight outside of actual battles. And other than that, he has a useless final trait, or at least outside of battles he does. For the tower battles, it's very useful. You would use this in first slot and basically just have it destroy all the towers. And it's going to be the strongest invasion troop they've ever added, since, yeah, you get to one-shot towers, not only basically with your skulls, but also with your ability pretty easily. So it's going to be a pretty nice time to do invasions again. This week's raid was super easy, and next week's invasion is super easy. Also, I like how he's, like, pointing at all of this. I know it's not intended to be like that, but it kind of works out quite funnily. But, yeah, not too bad. It's going to be good in pretty much everywhere. It's not going to be meta or anything like that, but it is going to be pretty decent outside of the game mode. So, pretty cool. Pretty much the first one of them that actually is capable of doing that. And inside of it, it's definitely going to be good. But anyways, as far as the Glory Troop, this costs 300 Glory. You'll be able to stock up on all the brown-green arcane trait stones you would ever want. As far as what it is, it's a little Fey Beast. All these are from Bright Forest, of course. Next week's event is Bright Forest. Good week to use event keys. Other than that, it deals damage to an enemy boosted by all allied Fey and Beasts. That's at a 4 times boost ratio, even though it doesn't say it here. Unless they buffed it even higher. I assume they wouldn't nerf it any lower. It's very similar to that of like a Ranger or a Rock Spirit or something else that you would use earlier on in the game at that kind of area. It's definitely nothing you would use later on or even in mid-game. It's more of like a, if you're under level 100 or under level 200 kind of troop that you may bring out. But other than that, anything beyond that point, it's going to be way too weak. But gains a bonus based on both of them. So let's say you have a total of 5 Fey Beasts on your team from a combination of them being Feys and Beasts. You would end up getting yourself 20 additional damage, which would basically double the amount of damage he'd be doing every cast. He also gains 5 souls every cast, which isn't a lot, but can definitely start adding up to give you a little bit more, if nothing else. It has 20% dodge, which is decent, and also is immune to all the mana drain stuff, which is pretty decent. And other than that, that's pretty much all he has. Nothing really too over the top, but could be something newer players might use. Plus, of course, you would want to get the Arcane Trait Stone. And for once, weapon is not horrible. It destroys an enemy's armor, which is pretty standard. They've been adding a lot of new main like weapons recently. But it also deals the normal damage. But it increases its magic by 2, boosted by armor destroyed. I actually do not know off the top of my head what the boost ratio is for this. I believe it is a 1 in 4? 1 in 3? If it's 1 or 2 or higher, this actually has a lot of potential. But yeah, we'll have to see. It's going to be really, really high true damage every shot after the first shot. What will really come down to if this weapon is worth using or not is what on earth its 4 perks are. We don't currently know what they are. We'll find out tomorrow. And if they are really decent, like gain enchant after a cast and like maybe something else like an explosion on a green or something, If it has stuff like that, it's going to be insanely powerful. If it doesn't have good traits, though, it's going to be dead content, most likely. But it'll come down heavily onto what on earth its perks are, on if that thing will be worth or not. But we'll find that out tomorrow. But anyways, yep, that's everything coming in with the events. And, of course, we're getting a new Mythic next Friday. We're getting the Yellow Guild War pet on Wednesday. And it's Archer Hero class for Thursday. Let me go and close that out. And there we go. Let me go say hello to everyone, since I can't actually see chat while I was doing all of that. 1 second. Let me move that back into place. Make sure everything's set up. And there we go. Okay, so... hello, everyone. Hello, Zero. Hello, Zeddicus. Hello, Danny. Hello, Hyper. Hello, Steve. Hello, Traylon. Hello, Captain. Hello, Jan. Hello, Marcelo. Hello, M78. And hello, Rasa. Hello, everyone. So, for the most of this stream, we're going to be doing the last little bit of Bard. As you guys know, we had 20% for this week, and we still do for a couple more hours on Pan's Veil and Wildfolk. This is both the 2 bonuses that Bard has, so we were power leveling it. Don't forget, if you still want to, the event objective is still to do a bunch of maps. Even though it is pretty late in only like 6 more hours in the event or so, yeah, a little less than 7 hours, there's still plenty of time to do this event. Only takes about 2 hours or less. So definitely, if you have the spare maps and you have the spare time, might be worth considering, because there is a new Mythic coming next Friday, and 90 gems, 8 glory keys, and 8 gem keys would definitely help in attempting to get it. Next Mythic's going to be interesting. It's not going to be... I don't think it's going to be meta, but it is going to be used for countering stuff, which is going to be kind of cool. It's probably going to be kind of like how Famine is used, where you use it occasionally on defend teams. Snuffly nose. And stuff like that. But it's going to basically be a anti-magic option, which is going to be kind of cool, while still being really heavy true damage. And it has the highest mana generation of any true damaging troop other than Marilith, which could also give it a lot of potential. Anyways, we're currently level 89 Bard. I won't be maxing it this week, obviously, but I just wanted to get a decent amount of leveling on it while we had 20%, just so that when we do Yellow Guild War days, over time, this will just naturally reach level 100. It gains basically no benefit from reaching level 100, but still, I'd want to do it eventually, so we'll just do it automatically. Oh, yes, I forgot to mention that, too. Yes, this Friday is the Gnome event. I need to make sure I remember to say that on tomorrow morning's video, too. But yeah, this Friday is the Gnome event. It lasts from Friday, this Friday reset until the following Monday reset, so basically the entirety of next weekend. And that is noteworthy because it's the most resources you can ever gain per hour while it is active. And it's really good to go do mass explore or mass PvP. So if you've been needing to farm trait stones or ingots or just wanting to play a bunch, next weekend is definitely the time to do it, because you'll be getting a bunch of gems, gem keys, various keys, a bunch of other resources. Hey, someone found a pet while I was setting up. Perfect. Oh! Hey, we might get our next mythic pet. Ooh, I like how I got so distracted already, but this could be our first natural mythic pet. I think we only need 2 more copies of him. But yeah, next gnome events, basically, it increases 2 things. The chance of finding gnomes in any battle that has gnomes normally, which is basically everywhere. Arena, PvP, explore, challenges, stuff like that. Basically everywhere except the event, which is invasion. So as long as you're not doing invasions, they will be popping up, basically. And yeah, you just end up finding higher amount of gnomes, which have various resources, and a higher chance of getting gnome vault keys, specifically off the gnomes, which is their best possible drop. And vault keys can give you anywhere from about 20 gems in loot to upwards of about 300 gems in loot if you get super lucky. I believe one of the drops is literally just 250 gems, even though it's very, very, very excessively rare to get it. But more commonly, from vault keys, you get things like orbs, some vault exclusive troops, and stuff like that. Hello, D. Welcome. Also, all the vault keys I've been saving, I'll be using this Friday, of course, as well. The main reason I save it is just because you can get a vault key inside a vault key. The chance is insanely low, but it is possible, and the chance of it occurring is slightly higher during a vault event. Hello, Iron Malt. Hello, I Love. Hello, Galva. Hello, D. Hello, Helvera. And hello, Hyper. I already said hi to Hyper, but welcome again. Yeah, I know it is quite a packed week. That's the only thing I slightly hate about their event system, is basically what happened this week. We had like a really dull kind of average week this week, and then the following week is just basically back to back to back to back to back to back stuff constantly happening. They just need to distribute their events a little bit better. It feels like that always happens. It just does like nothing for a while, and then it's just one gigantic week where literally everything happens every day, it feels like. Okay, we'll go take a right over. Go grab ourselves the yellow. Oh, come on. And take blue over. Got the Cascade. Throw that down on the one that's going to disable us some. We don't want him doing random stats effects, obviously. Go get Ubistet just so we can clean up. And ouch, we didn't actually hit anything. So we'll throw another Infernus, hopefully double kill off of that, then easily double kill whatever's left, or kill it off of that. That works too. Perfect. But yeah, my game plan for the Gnome event is basically to spam PvP because I still want to keep ingots. It's a lot quicker if we were to do Explore. I don't know, I might consider it. It depends heavily what the bonus is for next week. We don't currently know that. The troop we have to use is useless. But if it's something like a gain 400 gold, I might consider doing it in Explore. But I don't know. It's mainly, we just really need ingots. Regardless of what we're doing, we kind of need more ingots. So, I don't know, we'll probably just stick to PvP. You can also do Arena, too, if you don't want to do PvP, of course. Treasure Gnomes do still appear in there, as well as Pet Gnomes. It's the only other location other than PvP where Pet Gnomes occur. Oh yeah, Ubistet in Soulforge should be either next week or the following week. It's been oh, I should have taken that. It's been 2 months now. Without an Ubistet, so he should be in the drop table very, very ridiculously soon. Like, how he isn't, it just seems really odd. But, the max it could possibly ever be is 10 weeks because of how the rotation currently is. But that does technically mean it could be like 2 more weeks if we get super unlucky. But yeah, we'll see. But there's a really high possibility Ubistet is in their drop table next week, which will be good because I need one too. Well, I already have one, but, you know, I need another one. Because why not? And down it goes. Yeah, that'll be pretty big too. Ubistet's among one of the better mythics in the game. Probably top 3 at the moment. I definitely wouldn't place him as number 1. Infernus, hands down, is number 1 right now. And depending on how you rate Fair is technically number 2. He's not, strength-wise, he's not number 2. But usefulness-wise, he's number 2 because he gets you so many more souls per hour. Other than Infernus, he's basically the only thing that actually increases your resources per hour as far as mythics are concerned. The reason Infernus does is because it helps you win quicker. But the reason that Fair does, of course, is because it gives you so many extra souls by a ridiculously high margin. I'm still really surprised they gave him such a large soul bonus. Oh, really? You're going to survive with 3 HP? I guess because of that impervious, he's not burned. Yeah, you can't really underestimate Infernus' burn either. 12 damage per turn, assuming they can actually be burned. Definitely stacks up to be a lot of damage over time. Even if you're doing nothing, as long as you get that 1 extra turn, they're just constantly taking that little bit of damage. They said they might eventually buff Poison and Burn too, which would be really cool. Like to scale it into late game. The only problem with that is Infernus would become even more overpowered. But I definitely see Poison needing a buff for sure, 100%. Because Poison is pitiful this late in the game. More often than not, it's actually... Poison is so bad that it's basically a positive stats effect, not a negative. Because there's so many perks, or so many troops that have perks, or traits, whatever you want to call them, that basically give you a benefit whenever they take HP damage. And then the Poison is constantly giving them that little bit of HP damage they need to constantly keep triggering their ability. Basically meaning that those troops are beneficial to be poisoned instead of a negative. Okay, we'll go and... what else do we need here? Let's go for a little poke on that. Get that going. Oops, that's dead. It'll let me cast, and down it goes. Hello, Elwyn. What is he doing surviving with 1 HP, or one little summon that basically has 1 HP? 5 durability. Pretty much the same thing. Okay, if we get 2 or more, I believe that is Mythic Grimlet. Ooh, I think that's Mythic Grimlet. I'm pretty sure that is. There we go. First, wrong area. I think that is our first natural Mythic pet. Yep, it is. Actually, we only needed 1 copy. Oh, no, 2 copies. We only needed 2 copies. Sweet. First natural Mythic. And we get an orb off it. Hopefully we get something good. See, we still have an orb today. But yeah, there we go. Our first Mythic that, or our first pet that we've gotten to Mythic that we spent 0 gems on is now a Grimlet. And let's go do the final little leveling. And there we go. Max Grimlet. Of course, that is like one of the most useless ones in the entire game to max because Apocalypse has 5 Mythics in it, all of which don't really synergize with each other. But nonetheless, we now have it. And we get an orb off it. So let's see what we get from the orb. Please not be green or orange. We've been getting so many green and orange lately. Though anything other than a green is fine, but preferably blue or purple. It's not green. I'll take it. It's not a green. It could have been worse. It could have been way worse. But there we go. We'll take that. Let's see. What even is the full bonus then? I know it's attack and magic. How much does that actually give us total? We'll just put it over first slot and go the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. I guess we'll go use it once too, just for fun. Just go to Apocalypse. Go to Apocalypse, and what do we need here? We need Plague, Plague, War, Famine, Death. Actually, other way around. Depends what they're running. But we'll go with that, and set the banner to +2 yellow, because we desperately need it for Famine. Wait, what's the... No, there's too much blue to use that banner. Though that would be slightly more useful, depending on how it goes. But we'll go with that. And the bonus we get for this now is 9 attack and 3 magic. Interesting. That is almost near useless with the Apocalypse troops because, well, attack is useful. The attack part is actually really useful. The magic, however, not so much. But we're actually gaining a total of 4 magic and 11 attack. And that could potentially be a total of 15 attack and 6 magic if they were to ever make a Daemon bonus. Currently, there's not a Daemon pet. I don't know why. Well, there's a lot of not pets in the game. There's so many pets they still need to add. And it will be slowly trickling in over time. They're adding a new one about once every month, which is unfortunate because they should really be doing one almost every single new pet event or something. Like every other pet event should be a new one because it's going to take forever for them to actually bring in every bonus at the current rate of which they're bringing them in. But oh well, nonetheless, yeah, that's the bonus we currently have from it. But let's just go use it for once just for fun since we can now. Maybe not against 4 times Divine. There's something a little bit calmer. There we go. I normally get 1 copy as well. That was actually really rare for us to see a 3 like that. Feel like almost like 80% of them come down to only 1 copy. Though some people have reported getting like 7 at once, which is quite insane. The most I've ever gotten at once is, I believe 4 on my main account and 5 on my Let's Play account. Which is kind of lucky, because the time I got 5, I got it on the Pet Lucky. Literally the Pet Lucky. The little cat that's called Lucky is the one I ended up getting it on. But yeah, one thing that works nice for this, if nothing else, we actually gain 2 times skull damage whenever they're diseased. And we can combine that with the fact that we have a +9 attack bonus off the pet to use for this, so kind of works out quite nicely. Wow, we actually got a kill off of poison. Oh wait, no we didn't. That was death. I was gonna say, poison actually got a kill. I haven't seen poison kill for ages. That wasn't a poison kill though. That was a deaths to life steal kill. Okay, what do we need to take here? Guess we'll take the green over. We'll take purple. We'll throw a skull. It's not diseased anymore, so that doesn't do double, of course. We'll throw this over. Golem Grimace. Almost got a kill. Let me go get Famine up. I set it to +2 yellow for a reason. That's to be able to go get the mana up for that super quick so we can keep famining. We can't disease or poison them due to Impervious. I'm still going to go for it because we still get to reduce the stat, if nothing else, which we did on Armor. Of course, we don't get to choose, but we'll just pass a couple turns, take a Skull, and then just Famine kill him, or Skull kill him, either or. But yeah, 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse is never worth using. It's a really horrible team, but we now have the Pet Mythic for it. They did say that they might add more Apocalypse troops in the future. I don't know if they're all going to forever be Mythic, so, or what's up with that. But yeah, currently the entirety of the Apocalypse Kingdom is Mythic. If we actually go and search it real quick, I was in it earlier, but I didn't really make much of an emphasis on it. If we go back to Apocalypse, it consists of 5 Mythics, all of which currently don't belong to a kingdom, one of which is more expensive than any other Mythic other than Zugoth. And it's technically the second, third, this one is the second hardest troop in the entire game to craft, or to obtain. And all 4 of these troops are tied at 3rd hardest troop in the entire game to obtain. The absolute hardest is Zugoth, which is ridiculously expensive because it requires 8 power orbs. The second most expensive is Xenos because he requires slightly more resources. He still requires 4,000 diamonds, but he requires more resources than what a normal Mythic does. And all 4 of these are the 3rd hardest. They're the same cost in the Soulforge as a normal Mythic would be to craft. Though the difference with these is they are never available through any event. So things like event packs and event keys and stuff like that, they're never available in them because there's never a event for the Apocalypse Kingdom, because Apocalypse is not a kingdom. So yeah, they're slightly harder to obtain. They're still just as easy to soul forge craft, though. Most of them are useless other than famine, though. Do you need Yagway fully traded for it to be usable in bounty hunters? No. Though the trade stone for it was available either this week or last week. I think it was last week, actually. Yeah, last week the trade stone was available for it, so hopefully he's stocked up then. But if he didn't, it's fine if you don't have trade stones for him. It's helpful, though not required for him to work. It's helpful because you keep getting more life on him, which also not only does extra damage, but also does, it just increases his damage overall. But no, you can easily win without it. It's just ever so slightly harder to do so. But it's still pretty much the same battle. It's just he does slightly less damage overall, and he has slightly less HP. But as long as your barrier spamming the HP factor isn't that big a deal, and as long as you're spamming his ability and keep getting extra turns, the damage aspect isn't even that big a deal either. Anyways, well, we ended up getting that pet. Very nice. First max mythic pet other than the one we put gems into. And I guess we'll just run PvP for most of the rest of the time then, since we won't be able to get another pet. Oh, I also need to go to dungeons. I guess we'll do some of our dailies. Though almost every single one of my dailies right now, all I have to do is just use Dragon Soul with like a really weird team, and would end up getting all of them. Alright, let's throw another Infernus. And down it goes. But yeah, also you can go farm the trait stones too. It only takes a few hours to go farm them. If you go to Wild Plains, you just spam explore. You can get them there. And you might want to do that next weekend when you have the Gnome event, because you'll be able to find a lot of gnomes and get the trait stones simultaneously, which would work out quite nicely. Yeah, exploring in Wild Plains would get it to you in like 2 to 3 hours. Just use something like a Sunbird Rowan Firebomb with Hero, and with using any weapon you have, and that would be enough to get it pretty quickly. Plus you'd get a lot of EXP for whatever hero class you're using. If anyone's... Hey, speaking about hero class, level 90. And that's exactly where I said we'd probably be by the end of this week, too. We'd probably be around level 90 Bard. And that appears to be where we are. Maybe we'll get it to 91, actually. It doesn't make too big a difference one way or another. We don't need this thing maxed anytime soon. Wait, what on earth just happened? You guys saw that, right? He just scolded immediately into a firebomb. Because the traits were still going. Wait, I need to replay that. That's... What? He scolded. The board didn't even move yet, and he firebombed. That's great. Yeah, go back into stream real quick and see that. That's... I should actually probably send that to them. I know they're aware of that, like, one glitch thing with it, but still, that's... I've never actually seen that. He firebombed before the board could even fall. I don't even think you could do that as a player if you wanted to. It's basically, we took the... He took the skull, and then, like, before the skulls even fell and everything, he already casted Firebomb before they even fell. And dead. The Daemon troop bonus pet is very uncute. I actually didn't even see what the pet looks like for that. We should go double check that later. It would be a very useful one, though. While there aren't too many Daemon combinations these days that are actually really over the top compared to the meta, the bonus for them is insanely good. It's attack and magic, the two stats that you would want to have. It actually, if I'm not mistaken, has the best typing bonus of any type, because those are the two best stats you would ever want. Another one that has a pretty decent one is actually dragons, too, which is one of the reasons they're pretty popular. That and just a lot of dragons are good. But dragons have magic, HP, and armor, if I'm not mistaken. Technically, magic and HP, or magic and attack are the two strongest stat bonuses you can ever have from anything. The only problem with extra magic stats, though, is they're counted as a lot less. Basically, how they have scaled stats in this game for team bonuses like that is HP and armor count as 1, attack counts as 2, and magic counts as 4. So every single thing has like a certain amount of points that it uses up. Let's say, for example, I'm trying to think of what the scaling actually was. Let's see. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but let's say they had like a 10-point scaling for one of them. Something that it could be is something like 1 magic and 3 attack, because the 1 magic counts as 4 and the 3 attack counts as 6 total at 2 each, and something like that. I forget the exact scaling that they do for each. I know that's 1 kingdom, or having 2 from 1 kingdom counts as 2. And that's 4 from 1 kingdom counts as 10. I think 3 from 1 kingdom counts as 6. So, for example, that could be something like 1 magic, 1 attack, or 1 magic, 2 HP, and stuff like that. I'll go take that over. Throw the blue over. Oh wait, what am I doing? We're up against firebombs. All I have to do is just let him kill itself out. And that'll be that. Might as well do it ourselves. And down it goes. Oh, it's that little devil one. I remember that one then from the pet menu. Yeah, he did look kind of odd. There are a lot of pets that look kind of weird. I normally go over the ones that look better, but I should probably go over the ones that look really, really weird, because there are some pretty funny ones. Also, the human one is actually just a marionette thing, or whatever it's called. Whatever that... What's that wooden thing called? The wooden thing that kind of looks like a human. Not a silhouette. There's a proper name for it. I forget what it is. But we'll go and throw that down. Hello, Demon or Angel. Welcome. Wow, a lot of Firebomb teams today. I don't mind, though. Makes it a lot easier to get resources. Also, I hope I have enough legendary ingots if the next weapon is good. I believe I do. We're going to get another 21 next week. So that should be enough, if I'm not mistaken. I'll go double check right now, actually. I think we have enough if the next weapon that's coming out tomorrow is good. I think we have enough to max it. I really hope next week's weapon is good. It comes down heavily on what its perks are. And they're probably going to the perks are probably going to be underwhelming, unfortunately. But if they are good, it's going to definitely be a nice weapon to use. What am I looking for? I'm looking for troops, and I'm looking for any legendary weapon. No! We would be 3 legendary ingots short. Actually, we're going to be 1 legendary ingot short. I guess we'll craft it with our epics, as much as I don't want to. But we're going to be 1 short, because we're going to get 2 from PvP when we hit 1.9k. Unless we happen to get 2 between now and tomorrow night somehow, which technically could happen, but I've been getting pretty unlucky with PvP. I don't think we've gotten a single legendary ingot all weekend. And obviously, we still haven't gotten a single mythic one ever. But yeah, we're going to get 21 from the event, from just paying 850 gems for the event. Then we're going to get, that brings us to 42. Then we get 2 for free from 1.9k PvP, actually specifically up to 1.8k. Because 1.7 and 1.8 gives you 1 legendary ingot each. And then that means we only need 1 more legendary ingot. And the only way I could possibly get that is if we find one between now and then. Or basically from now until when I do the video tomorrow morning. Or I would have to go and just craft one, which is probably going to be what we have to do. And yeah, but we'll see what the weapon does. If it's good, we'll max it. If it's not, then we won't. But we'll just have to see. Yeah, mannequin. That was the word I was looking for. Mannequin. I knew it began with an M. Let's see. Move it right over. Take the yellow. Take that yellow just so we don't give him anything. Oh, wait, what am I doing? Again, it's firebombs. Seriously, what the fuck are firebombs? But we'll go throw this down. I didn't kill him. Luckily, he used the weaker one. I mean, he used the stronger one so that we can kill the weaker one. And down it goes. So, what's our chances that we actually get a legendary ingot right now? That'd be funny. That would save us 10 epic ingots if it did, which would definitely be very useful. I should probably stop crafting my epic ingots into legendary. I probably will soon. I keep doing it, which is just making me have, like, no epic weapons upgraded. The only one I have upgraded is Prey Seeker. Because every single time I need, like, another one... Anytime I'm, like, 1 or 2 legendary ingots short, I just craft them upwards. Alright, we'll take that out. Get that down. Throw a double Uber step to kill that. And there we go. Oh, yeah, how's the leaderboard? I guessed it would be around 31k. How close were we? It is... Oh, quite a bit higher, actually. 33/34k. So next week could be 36, 37, or 38k then. Is what our goal would be. It's quite far to go for, but I believe I am going for it next week. Yeah, we'll try for probably 38k, I guess. Maybe we could try for 40k. Haven't been 40k plus for a while. 40k right now would almost be top 50, actually. I don't know, we'll see. There really isn't any point in getting top 50, though. Well, actually, slightly. You start getting legendary ingots instead of epic ingots, but, which I guess technically would be really good, actually. But, yeah, once you reach top 50, you start getting legendaries. But if I was to go that far, I would want to go, like, a little bit further just to get a whole another one. I think just top 100 is fine. Just get the epic ingots and kind of go from there. Really, even top 1,000 is fine, but if the difference between top 1,000 and top 100 is normally, like, 1 to 2 hours of playing. So if you got that far already, you generally just try going for 100. And you just go all the way. And, of course, the Mythic ingots, that's gonna take forever. They really need to add another leaderboard that has these on it or something. Or just any other means of actually obtaining these, because they are so scarce, to say the least. Anyways, let's go back again, and head to Firebombs, apparently, because for whatever reason, every single battle tonight feels like them. Two and a Half Men reference. I've never actually seen that show, so I wouldn't know the reference. Actually, I haven't watched TV for... I can't even remember the last time. Or really even TV-based shows. It's been probably around like 6 to 7 years now. I don't watch TV, I don't have Netflix, I don't have Hulu. I don't do any of that kind of stuff. Okay, we'll take Skull over. Infernus dead. Another Firebomb, seriously. I don't mind, though. Well, hopefully we'll get some real battles. These are basically just like treasure gnome battles. It's kind of like a vault key in a battle form. It's just a ridiculously easy battle just to give you free resources. Is essentially what these 4 times Firebombs are. Except the reward is a lot worse than what a vault key is, but still decent enough nonetheless. Okay, let's throw Doomstead at him. And then it goes. How do you like tomorrow's new Mang weapon? It's gonna be good if its perks are good. It's gonna be good if the perks are good. I'm actually gonna max out the weapon immediately if the perks are good. If they're not, then I'm probably not gonna use the weapon at all. But it comes down heavily on what its perks are. If it has something like enchant and it has just anything that really makes it good, like explosions and such, it's probably gonna be worth upgrading to max. If it doesn't have any of that kind of stuff, it's probably going to be ignored forever and never used ever. But it's really heavily dependent on whatever its perks are, on if it will be good or not. Like, the weapon itself, its effect isn't bad. It's just, it's just pretty much similar to every other Mang weapon in a way. The perks is what would really make it go over. Given that the nature of the weapon, it needs some kind of perk that helps it spam. Like I was saying, enchant or explosion or something. If it doesn't have any perk that gives it mana back, it's not going to be worth it to upgrade. But we'll find out tomorrow, because I don't even think the spoiler threads say what the weapon actually does yet. We don't know that until it actually launches. You've been away this week? Did you see the Piper still gained magic if the armor is not there? I did not notice that. That is actually pretty useful. Particularly for early game, since you can keep stacking up higher and higher every single time. Yeah, I saw the reward-winning novel thing by a player. It was something like the president thingy. I didn't actually look too much into it. I saw the thread. I didn't bother looking into it too much yet, though. But yeah, that was pretty cool. Let's see, move that over. That's something I always wanted to do as well. Like, write a book at some point in my life. Seems like a fun thing to do. I feel like it would take forever to do, though. Like a year, 2 years. You know, not like consecutively, but in between doing other stuff. Like, it'd probably take me 2 years to write a book if I was to do it between this channel and other stuff I do. But, I don't know, it definitely seemed like something fun to do. Problem is my vocabulary is, like, ridiculously bad. Like, I can structure sentences decently and stuff like that. It's just, I have a very limited vocabulary. And in order to have a really expansive one, I would have to put a lot of extra time in. Like, I don't naturally have a good vocabulary, but obviously everyone could if they put enough time into doing something. But I wouldn't just naturally know correct word choice for a lot of stuff. What would I write about? Well, my favorite genres tend to be fantasy, sci-fi, and dystopia are generally my 3 biggest genres that I like. I don't read that often, like barely ever. Like, I think it's been like 3 years since I've even read a book. But those are my 3 favorite genres if I was. Sci-fi, fantasy, and dystopia. I'll throw Infernus down, and down it goes. Yeah, I hate the concept of reading, mainly because my eyes fatigue very, very quickly when I'm trying to focus on words like that. I like writing, though. I just find it hard to read for long periods of times. But if I was to really get into something, I could. Good evening, Dragon Ball Z fan. Welcome. Throwing a furnace down. Get Hoopstead in there. And down it goes. Which one of these? I will go for the Giants. Giants, another team that tends to be pretty annoying. It has pure HP bonus and almost pure HP bonus off of Giant bonus. So it's just gaining more HP on top of more HP. If they ever add a Giant pet, 4 times Giants is actually going to become even more popular. All it needs, if they add 1 more good Giant to the game, as well as 1 more, and if they add the Giant pet itself, Giants are going to become rampant everywhere in this game. There isn't a proper hard counter for them that's like exceptionally good, nor is there really any way to deal with them. I guess things that hit high against high HP, but there aren't too many of them that actually do that. Because the team gains absurd amount of HP. There's no team that actually gains more HP than 4 times Stormheim Giant, and that will always be the case because its Kingdom is pure HP and Giant bonus is nearly pure HP. And it's kind of funny because back in the day when bonuses first came out, they nerfed Goblins bonus and switched it with Giants because Giants were useless, but Goblins were ridiculously overpowered. But in doing so, they basically made it so sometime in the future, Giants are going to be the new overpowered Goblins. Not in the same way, but basically they took the overpowered Goblin bonus and they gave it to Giants. And now eventually Giants are going to do the exact same thing, where 4 times Giant teams are going to become probably as popular as something like this. Where you see Nobin Brothers, Princess Fizzbang, Queen Grapplepot, Siren, stuff like that. It's still not at this current moment in time. I feel like one of the biggest reasons why is 4 times Giant team requires you to use Titan class. And obviously most people aren't going to keep their class as a single thing. Games are actually going to switch up quite a bit if they ever add the ability, like they mentioned in the past, that they're going to hopefully try to make it so every single team can have its own hero set to it. Basically how you set banner, you would set your hero for your team. So if they were to ever do that, a team's going to probably be running a lot, and as far as defense and everything, just the 4 times Giant Titan team. Because Titan is one of the best hero classes at the moment as well, too. Every single one of its perk trees are amazing. He doesn't have a single bad perk tree. It's not the best synergy of perk trees that could exist, but it definitely has 3 really good ones. Let's see. How hot is it on the East Coast? I actually don't know the temperature at this current moment in time. I guess I could check it on a little thing. I don't know how accurate it would be. Let me see. Let's see. Current temperature, 75 degrees Fahrenheit. How high was it earlier? About 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Though it's been rainy recently, so that could be making it go a little bit cooler than normal. It's been rainy almost all week. Like, out of nowhere, you'll just see, like, a flash rain and thunderstorm, and then it'll go away. But that's probably cooling it quite a bit. Will Giants beat Divines? Well, the current hard counter to... No, that will never happen. Giants will never be better than Divines. That will never happen. Unless they added a lot of really good Giants. What Giants really need is a good Giant Mythic. The Stormheim Mythic Giant is horrible synergy with Giants. As well as a horrible troop in general. But it has no synergy within Giants. It's just kind of weird. But anyways, yeah, Divines will always be better than it, bottom line. It's just they have the potential of being really good in the future. And they kind of already are now. It's just they're not stronger than Divines, but they could be like similarly as strong in different instances. Because there's no team that gets higher HP than Giants, so... and there's also no really good hard counter. Whereas Divines do have a hard counter. Plus, they're planning on adding another hard counter in the future, or even more of them. Right now, Crimson Bat does 4 times skull damage to Divine teams. 2 times because it hits damage against Divines, 2 times damage to Divines. But also an additional 2 times if they're missing HP, and that does stack. That also stacks with Hunter's Mark. So if you were to Hunter's Mark an entire Divine team, and then skull spam it, if they were missing HP, Hunter's Marked, and then skull spammed, you would do 8 times skull damage per skull, because they actually do stack multiplicitly. Not many things in this game do, but multiplier bonuses do. So, or at least in that instance. So you'd do 2 times, 2 times, 2 times, get a total of 8 times extra, and it would just tear apart each one in one shot. Almost no Divine has, oddly enough, has protection against skulls. And the better Divines, every single one of them doesn't. Like, if you look at my team right now, Priest class max out doesn't. Like, if we go look at his team. Oh, no, he's not using the correct one either. But Priest class does not have any skull mitigation. Ubistet has none. Divine Ishbala has none. And Infernus has none. So, you just one-shot every single one of them with skulls. And that's as easy as that. Okay, we'll go... What do we need? We'll go take a green over. Let's get rid of Ubistet. He's actually running an upfront Ubistet, which probably won't do anything, but I still want to kill it immediately. The reason I say it probably won't do anything is the problem with putting that in front is the AI generally does not cast with something else before Ubistet. It'll just cast Ubistet and then waste the Ubistet. Because with Divine Team, with how high stats are this late in the game, unless you're fighting someone weaker than you, you cannot just simply throw Ubistet immediately. If you do, you're not actually going to land a double kill because you won't have enough damage to do so. You have to make sure that you damage them some first, and the easiest way to do that is either Divine Protector or, of course, throw an Infernus at it. Okay, can you guys stop reviving these little 50% guys? They're so annoying. Wish no one would set that as their perk. So I guess that's a good way to go stack up kills if it was actually an objective to go kill stuff in PvP. But that is not the objective this week, so... but yeah, it's actually one of the better perks. It's one of the things that makes Assassin and Archer kind of pretty nice. I believe one other has it as well. I think Warden has it, if I'm not mistaken. Which kingdom is it for Invasion? It's not kingdom-based, it's type-based, and it's going to be Fae. You're going to be restricted to only using Faes next week. Oh yeah, I didn't actually think of what team I'll be using for that yet. Yeah, I'll go double-check that. I know it's going to be the raid troop, I mean the Invasion troop plus Mang. Is definitely what we're going to be using. Though then again, the Invasion Troop is so good, we could even just do Invasion Troop into Mountain Crusher. Wouldn't even be horrible. We'll have to see. But let me go double check something. Okay. So let's go and go to Troops and go under Fae. So this is everything that you can use next week. So every single one of these. Let's see. Glitter Claw could have potential. Well, let's go see what our team's actually going to be. Our team would be, let's just find a random green-yellow. So let's just put Ranger there. Pretend that that Ranger is the Raid Troop. For this, we'll just put in a Mang or Mountain Crusher. Depends which way we're going to go about it. But for now, we'll just put in a Mang. We could even use the other version of Mang if we wanted to. It really just depends. But I'll go with that for now. And now we need 2 Fae troops that are good. Queen Mab won't be because they can't be frozen. She can mana burn them, but they can't be frozen. Nyx wouldn't be because you can't mana drain them. Green Seer could be, but you would need another green option for it to be worth it. Orion would be useless because you can't Hunter Mark it. Plague would be useless. Queen Etania would be useless because you can't Fairy Fire. Rowan, if you wanted to armor buff like crazy, I guess could be okay. Suna would live decently, but wouldn't really kill that well. Oh, Wisp! Oh. Oh. It even has Dispel spam, so they can't enchant or barrier you. Hmm. Too bad they don't have +1 to their things. It's kind of like last week all over again. Except not as good. Well, technically it does double the amount of damage, but it doesn't gain all... It gains a slower start, and it doesn't have Link anymore. It used to... This thing used to only be 9 mana. It used to have Purple Link, and it had Empowered. But then they nerfed it to what it is now. Now it's 10 mana, it has no Link, and it only has 75% start instead of 100%. But that's actually not too bad. Put it, like, right there. Go use, like, Mountain Crusher. You know what? That actually doesn't seem horrible. The problem... Oh, no, there's one really big issue with this. Never mind. You couldn't do that. Unless this lives. But the biggest issue with this is it's not like a Faunessa where you can keep hitting them. You would have to make sure they're still completely adjacent to each other. So that game plan probably wouldn't work. But you probably would keep one of them on your team. Because you would want the Dispel. Plus you would want the... Okay, we definitely go Mountain Crusher. I think this will actually be one time when we don't even bother with Mang or anything. Let's go Mountain Crusher. And now we just want to cover the last color of blue with something. And we want all the mana to go into Wisp so we can keep getting those down. So yeah, now we just need one other Fae that's not horrible. That's funny, we're using like all low rarity stuff. We'd be using the thing that we get automatically from just spending some gems on the event. Mountain Crusher. Wisp, which is only ultra rare. And then we need one other Fae that would kind of fit into here. Okay, what would be really good against these things? Fae Cap, they're immune to Transform, so they can't... oh, never mind, you don't even have Transform. I was thinking of something else. Mana Drain would be useless. Fairy Fire would be useless. Wait, why did I say he would be good? I forgot, they can't be Fairy Fired. Green Seer would be good if we actually need a lot of green, but it wouldn't be worth it just to throw it into one troop. Can't Fairy Fire, can't Freeze, can't Fairy Fire. I don't have any armor buff. Blue Storm wouldn't be helpful. Spirit Fox wouldn't be helpful. Sliff wouldn't be helpful. Savasi wouldn't be able to do enough. Entangle would be useless. Maybe we do bring out that second Wisp. If nothing else, with how many packs I'm buying, you know what? This might just be my team, and I just double up on the Invasion Troop and just do it that way. 2 times Invasion Troop, Mountain Crusher, Wisp. I think that's my game plan for next week. And just do it like that. Yeah, I think that's legitimately going to be my team. Also, if you needed something cheap, you could put Dryad on that team. And boom, there you go. Now you have Barrier for your thing, you have Green Spam for your thing, Mountain Crusher for mana, Wisp for Dispel, so you don't have to deal with Barrier, Enchant, or anything else. It also does Charm, which is a lot of damage because their attack is pretty high. You have Dryad for Barrier and Life and everything to make sure your first slot doesn't die, the new Invasion Troop coming in. And yeah, so you could either use this or you use double up on this if you aren't getting enough packs to get 2 of them on your team. And that's pretty much it. So yeah, something like that would end up working. And Banner would be shifted to a +1 brown, +1 red, or +1 brown, +1 purple. Would be what you'd want to do. Actually, don't you have a +1 already on you? Yes, but it's not a useful one, unfortunately. Let's see, where would it be? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Also, you could change up this banner plussing based on what you're actually using as well. Looking for brown green. Let's just go with this one then. We'll do that. Oh wait, I'm not looking for brown green. I'm looking for brown purple or brown red. Where's Darkstone? Let's do that one. Okay, there we go. We would want to try to have a +1 for Dryad too. So if we were using a hero class that had a +1 red or a +1 purple, we'd want to use that for Wisp. Then set our +1s to +1 brown and +1 blue, so that it goes into the Dryad as well as our weapon. Basically, you need to make sure your Mountain Crusher, your Wisp, and your Dryad has a +1. Or you simply go double of the Ray Troop and do that instead, and then you don't need to worry about the +1. Then you could probably use the -1 blue banner as well at that point. Actually, then again, do any of the minus blues even have a lot of purple? I mean, a lot of brown? Because it's really important to have +1 brown. Maybe we'll even go dwarf or something. All the stone trees have +1 brown on it, if I'm not mistaken. So you can kind of use that. I don't even know what level or what hero class I'll be leveling next week. But whatever it is, it's probably going to be one that helps this team out to actually be able to work in invasions. But that's pretty much the game plan as far as what I'll be using for invasions. Something along the lines of what that was. What about Freya, since it has a boss killer? It doesn't work on them. They're towers. Towers do not count as bosses. They count as towers. They're two completely different things. Yeah, it would only do normal damage. It wouldn't do its multiplier to them. The only thing that would do their multiplier to them that would be usable would be the invasion troop that's coming in. And the invasion troop's actually insanely good. It tears through all armor, and it does true damage to them, basically, because it tears through all their armor. It's the strongest invasion troop that's ever been added. Even if there was another troop like that, like a raid troop, old one, that could be used against it, it wouldn't even be worth it, because a new one coming in is just so much more powerful than anything they've ever added. Which is why my team's probably going to actually be, it's going to ditch the Dryad, most likely, and just double up on the, what's it called? I forget his name, but that one green, yellow guy, the invasion troop. Did he really just win off of that? What are you doing? I go to explain something for a second, and then he does that. I think we're dead. Nope. Okay, yeah, we're dead. Let's let it go down. Oh, he gives us a chance, kind of. Not really. Never mind. And down we go. Divines, they are so annoying. If you're wondering why I'm always taking easier battles, it's stuff like that. It is stuff like that, which is why. It's just a really, really annoying state as far as what endgame PvP is at right now. As far as like some of the teams that get used. Like, they're beatable, it's just they're really annoying teams. Like what we're using right now. Of course, it's fun when we're using it. What's not fun is when we get destroyed by it. Switch Infernus with Davinia? Better way, in your opinion? The biggest issue with that is it requires alignment, which a Furnace doesn't require alignment. It's one of the main reasons why I have it there. If Ishbala had alignment, it would be better. The biggest issue is she always doesn't, whereas Infernus doesn't require it, which is the main reason why I have it set up like that. Having it set up in this order makes it more consistent. And we scale it out this way. Yeah, if you can get a really nice Divine Ishbala off, you'd pretty much instant win the second you do. And it would speed up the battle a lot. The biggest issue is you normally don't have that. Plus, you have to look over the board and take time to actually figure out if the board is set up that way, which you have to factor into your amount of time within the battle. Because you could waste up to 5 to 10 seconds just figuring out if it is worth or not worth doing it at a given moment. Let's throw that down. Get Divine Ishbala off if it's still there. I think it just ruined it. We'll still go for it because we have it on Skull. And then we just Infernus into a Uberstet. And that'll be that. Oh, Davinia. Oh, no, my bad. I thought you said to move Divine Ishbala into that spot. This team is good with Davinia, but you would have to replace out Infernus. You wouldn't be able to use it, and like you would have to replace out something from this team. Because you have to keep Davinia in this team, and you have to keep Divine Protector or Mercy into this team, either or. Davinia is a little bit hard to put into this team. Not that it's bad, it's just that it makes it go slower. It increases your win rate by a lot. Like, we'd almost never lose if we actually threw Davinia in here. But, it would make it so we'd win a lot slower, which wouldn't be worth it. When you have both Infernus and Uberstet, you always just run the combo of them. And if you only had one, you can go down the Mountain Crusher route as well. And just go Mercy, Mountain Crusher, or even just Mountain Crusher up front. Mountain Crusher, Mercy, Infernus, Divine Ishbala, and run it that way. Yeah, we'll take yellow over. Go to yellow, grab all that, take red. He'll just kill itself out there. I don't think it's enough damage. I'm still going for it, though. Nope, it's not. Kind of knew it wouldn't be, but figured I'd try anyways. Wow, he's got so many moves. He did like 5 turns in a row. And it all descends there. Yeah, it would be stronger against it. If you ever needed to counter Uberstet, there's 3 ways to do it. There's increase your HP by a lot, reduce his attack by a lot, or, you know, his entire enemy team, like with Grim or something. And the third is to mass barrier. If you use either of those three things, you almost never lose a move set. The problem is I don't normally bother spending the time to switch. And I'd rather use a team that's just generally good against everything at a quick speed than bother switching each time. But yeah, if we were to switch our team literally every time, we could probably get around 95% to 99% win rate. Maybe even higher than that. It's just the amount of time it would normally take to keep switching constantly isn't worth it in most situations. The other problem with constant switching too is some of them require different hero classes, and until they ever add the capability to have hero classes set on a specific team, mass swapping probably won't ever be worth it. But it probably will be in the future. It just isn't at the moment. Which is why you normally see me only using like 1 or 2 teams normally, for the most part. Yeah, Davinia Infernus is still perfectly fine if you don't have Ubistet, as well as Davinia with Ubistet if you don't have Infernus. You can literally just replace Infernus on this team with Davinia. Also, Davinia Yagwe is insanely good as well. Generally the best thing to ever pair with Yagwe whenever you're building a Yagwe team these days. It's still possible to use Yagwe without a Davinia though. It's just it's even stronger with one. It's one of the few teams where you actually get to use Davinia offensively instead of just defensively. Well, technically she is slightly offensive too. She can get Enrage, and she can get Enchant. And Enchant, of course, makes you get mana quicker, and Enrage would just clear through traits as well as 1.5 times skull damage. Yeah, Davinia is a lot of fun to use. I generally only bring it out for Guild Wars, though. Very, very, very rarely do I bring it out for PvP. Unless it's a Yagwe team. Oh, that wasn't enough damage, really? We're gonna have to waste a lot of that Infernus. How did he not die? Luckily Burn cleared him out. Okay, he transformed into a monk. That's actually a little bit annoying. That's funny, he's using an all-dragon team and it's still an all-dragon team. Right back into the monk. I guess technically Baby Dragon is one too. But we'll go with that over. How is none of that aligned? I'm still going for it, why not? Go for it. Do something. We obviously lose our turn. Then we just Infernus into Ubistet. And he'll hit us 1,000 times over. He's going to gain barrier. Or not. There we go. That would have been annoying if his summon actually did that. And down it goes. You don't have Divine Protector. Yeah, I really wish they would add Divine Protector to the game. Also, this was the team we've been talking about as well right there. Mercy / Divine Protector, Davinia, Infernus, with Divine Shpala. Okay, if you were actually playing this, you would obviously go for Davinia as quickly as possible. You would possibly even set your banner to +2 red, +1 yellow, -1 brown, and just rush it up as immediately as possible. That's a very common banner to run with Davinia, just so you get things rolling immediately. I'm actually going to go for it first, so we don't have to deal with this HP gain. And down it goes immediately. Throw an Infernus at it. And it's pretty much matched. Get a little bit of poke in there. And just clear it out with Infernus. And there we go. Yeah, I'll go use one of it real quick. Let's go do it on our... actually, I'll just do it right over this team, I guess. Let's go do it against... well, apparently we'll be up against another one. There's someone who literally doesn't have it, who just went with a... Wait, what even is that team? It's not even using Divine Ishpala. That's weird. Okay, let me go face this one time, and then see if we can find a Divine and just use a Davinia against it. Okay. What do we need? Take the blue over. Throw a green. Get our Divine Protector up. Throw it onto Infernus so we don't have to deal with him. Ideally, we'll get those two killed, though. Then again, as long as we don't hit it with a skull, it should be enough. So we'll do that. Don't hit it with a skull. We kill the middle, too. There we go. I always have to deal with the mass barrier and protection that he has. Take all that red. Throw another Infernus at him. It's going to explode a bunch. He actually Hunter's marked it. That's funny. Did he seriously just Hunter's marked it and then, Wait, what even Hunter's marked it? Oh, that's funny. He Hunter's marked... Can that actually happen? I never even double-checked that interaction. Can Archer or Assassin seriously Hunter's mark? on a skull and then do 2 times damage immediately. I haven't checked yet to see if that actually triggers before or after. That's interesting. Also, we might actually lose to it. That'd be a gigantic fail. So we'll go do that. Throw down the Uberset there. And just kill those 2 out. Kill off the little scrap that ends up coming up. Apparently, I forgot to go take that. He's actually going to go get a Dawnbringer now because of that. I think me not taking that extra turn might have actually lost the battle. That'd be a fail if we actually lost to that. Because I am now in 1-hit range. And we have to hit him like 3 times now. I think we actually lose. So I'll go throw a scroll down on it. And yeah, we do actually lose to it. Because Dawnbringer mainly. Wow. Well then. Yeah, we'll go use the Divine option real quick. Biggest issue with it is it goes slower though. Let me go find an actual Divine team. Of course, now when we want to find them, they're nowhere to be seen. There they are. It's not like as big of one, but it's still one. But the biggest issue with this is it goes so much slower. If we were to go and do, let me go use the rush version of it, I guess. We'll go with, where is it? Right there. We get rid of Ubestead, actually. And we go with this. Get rid of that. And we throw Davinia there. And put that in there. I still don't have mine maxed. Maybe I'll get it eventually. I don't use it enough to bother maxing it. And then we go into the -brown banner. Wherever it may be. It's the Dragon Claw banner. I know what it is and everything. Where is it though? There it is. And we just go with that. And then you just rush Davinia immediately. Cast it. Hopefully land extra turn and go from there. Alright, so enough of you do that. Just take that. Garble the mana. Throw it down. And you just go from there. And Divine Protector we barely even need. We mainly just need it for its barrier. And just to put more reds back on the board. For like right now. We can also use it to target the lower one some for when Infernus is hitting correctly. And throwing an Infernus down. Wait to see what he does first though. And then we just keep looping back and forth. Actually, I think that's enough to kill, isn't it? And yes it is. And there we go. That's basically what the Divine version looks like. Actually went quite quick that time. Hey, we got a Magma Pillar. Let's go try it again. From what I've seen in the past, though, it overall goes slower than what the other team would. Okay, we'll go and... we'll take yellow. Take another yellow. Get all the reds. Go and get the... I guess we'll start aiming Dragon Soul. Oh, wait, never mind. We don't have Ubestead, so we actually can't double kill it. Which does make it revive a lot more times. We'll throw Infernus here. Get some of our mana going. Get a red explode. Get another Infernus. He'll go do whatever. Red explode again. Another Infernus. Go revive again. And this team I feel like would be glacially slow on, what's it called? Any team that has a archer on it, or anything that has that one rogue class, because that 50% summon thing, this team would deal with very, very slowly. One nice thing about Ubestead is it does kill 4 times over if you actually get a double kill, which does speed that up quite a bit. But if it had absolutely no revive, I guess we could actually win at about the same speed with that. So it definitely would be worth considering, especially if we had a different hero class. Like, of course, right now, we're not really using the most proper one. We're just using Bard, which isn't bad because we're gaining extra magic on everything and extra stats. So it makes up for the fact this guy isn't legendary. But, yeah. Anyways, let me go back to normal banner and normal Ubestead. Move that in there. Get rid of that. Get an Ubestead in here. Not the one I meant to click on. And there we go. Okay, everything's in order. Let's go take out the pet, and then we'll just end it there. It's a pretty good one, too, a Magma Pillar. I don't know how close we are to maxing it, but definitely want to get closer, that's for sure. Let's see. Protector, Davinia, Ubestead, Divine, Ishbala? Wait, why would you use Ubestead instead of Infernus? Well, I guess you could, but wouldn't you want to have the double loop potential of a Exploder into an Exploder? Because that's one of the main reasons why you bring Davinia into your team. Well, other than the HP that it gives. and its stats and everything. Actually, it does a lot of things. But to have the double explode back to back is pretty convenient. It just keeps it on your turn more often. But anyways, let's go do this pet real quick. Oh, we still haven't even done dungeons yet. Let me actually go do that first, and then we'll go do the pet. It's Diamond Day, too. How could I forget it on Diamond Day? Also, speaking of that, don't forget to craft yourself a Dragon Soul later tonight if you have the time, or if you have the resources, I should say. Not if you have the time. But, yeah, if you have the resources, definitely consider it. Oh, throw Infernus down. Well, yeah, any variant of it's going to be really good. I'm not saying it's bad by any means, that's for sure. Okay, let's go move the yellow over. If it'll actually move. Get Infernus down. Good. Clear out one of these. Get all of our mana back. Clear it out again. And just Uber-Stick kill it, I guess. Doesn't really... Yeah, come on, move. Fine, we'll do it with skulls. Doesn't want to cast. Hello, Siplom. You got the first Greater Orb today from Portal 10. It was an Orb of Clans. Pretty nice. That's one of the better ones to get, too. Yeah, we'll take the skull. Grab our yellow. Throw the Uber-Stet. And now we have two of them. And now any cast will kill. Or any two casts. Well, any of those two casts would kill. But we'll take a red down. Furnace him. And dead. Okay, there we go. Now let's go claim our diamonds. But yeah, you can get 80 diamonds from this, which is definitely worth always doing. And if you were a little bit short for getting a mythic or a new legend, or mainly a legend this week, this is sometimes worth going for, the $5 thing for 150 diamonds. It's basically like trying to craft part of a legendary. Yeah, it could be considered worth it. Like if you were within 150 short of a Dragon Soul, it would definitely be worth it. Buying a Dragon Soul for $5 is a good investment if you are earlier on in the game. It's one of the few things that actually would be pretty nice to actually use diamonds for. Dragon Soul is about one of the only things, though. Very, very few things would you ever bother actually rushing up to craft. But Dragon Soul is definitely one of them if you own 0 copies of it. Particularly the earlier you are in the game, the better. Like if you're like under level 300, though even under 500, or really at any point in the game, it's pretty decent. But the earlier the better. But it explodes a bunch of gems, slightly lower amount earlier on in the game, probably around 6 or 7. Deals damage to all enemies, minimum 11, up to 20 if you're using a full Teams of Dragon. And it automatically gains 15 souls every battle. I mean every cast, which is 3 casts in order to reach max souls, which is insanely good. But yeah, it's the strongest strip in the entire game at a lower level range, and it just does everything. And even later on in the game, you use it for various stuff. Like we can do it with our daily quests right now if we want to go do some of them, which I'll probably be doing later. Won't be doing them on stream. They're pretty repetitive. But we'll be using Dragon Soul with like 3 other things on our team to kill out every single one of those quests that we have. Actually, it's kind of funny. We actually have the exact same quest in 2 different wordings and 2 different amounts. One of them says, win a battle using 4 unique troops who all share a mana color. And the other one says, win any battle using 4 unique troops who share a mana color. It's literally the exact same thing in different wordings. And it gives a different ward and a different amount. That gives 10 gems for 10, and this gives 2,000 gold for 3. But it's telling you to do the exact same thing. I just find it really weird that it has a different icon and a different wording. It just seems weird. But they both are the exact same thing. The same kind of inconsistent. But anyways, let me go do the pet real quick, and we'll go from there. And hopefully we'll gain a level off it. I think we actually won't, but my main goal was to reach level 90, and we actually did achieve that, so perfect. We did what we wanted to do this week, so it worked out. Oh, you think it works better against other Divine teams, you're saying? Well, the problem I would see with trying to use that against a Divine team is how are you getting rid of their barrier? If you're running against a Dawnbringer Davinia version, let's say, what would you be using to get rid of barrier? Because normally Infernus is the role of getting rid of barrier on a Divine team, or your hero if you had Dispel. But you'd specifically have to be using a hero class that has Dispel. But if you don't have Dispel and you don't have Infernus, what would be the game plan for removing barrier against teams that have a lot of barrier? because Ubistet can't do that. Ishbala can't do it. The weapon wouldn't do it efficiently, and that leaves you with nothing. The easiest way to do it is just Dispel on hero, but there's only like 2 or 3 hero classes that have it, and obviously we're not currently using one that does. We'll go throw that down. Get our hits down. Get a Ubistet. Oh, come on, Ubistet. Go down. Maybe throw a skull at it. Oh, you actually should have taken that skull first and then done that. Whoops. Not too big a deal, though. Yeah, we'll go try it for some PvP right after this. I just want to keep with this because if I change it now, it's going to save that change. So I just want to keep it as is for our pet battles. You went up against Cyan, Ragnagord, Famine, Spirit Fox with your Divine team and almost lost. Oh yeah, it's, Drain spam is very annoying. Easiest way to deal with that is run Yagway into Davinia is the easiest way. They both have immune to mana drain. They're the 2 strongest troops in the game that have immune to mana drain. Oh yeah, I guess you could do it like that. If you use Ubistet to lower, or if you use every option you have in Skulls to lower the first troop to be the lowest HP on their team, what you can do is Ubistet and it'll still double kill. The only problem with that is the first line of the enemy has to be the lowest, one of the 2 lowest durabilities in order for that to work. The only problem I really see with that is Hero has the highest durability on the entire enemy team, so you'd have to go out of your way to hit it several times. That or get lucky enough to get a 100's mark on it off of Davinia, or one of the 2 options, or get an Enrage on your first slot out of luck, or something like that. Because every single time, if you were going to go down that route, if it was really heavily barriered, you'd have to make sure that Hero was the lowest on their team, so that you could dispose of it to hit it out. Otherwise, the 2 Ubistets would hit on 2 barriers. Or not the 2 Ubistets, you know what I mean, the 2 Ubistet hits off the 1 Ubistet. Alright, we'll throw that down. Do a Divine thingy in there. And then we just Infernus into anything else. Skull, why not? And then we just need a little bit more mana. Stick the reds there. See what else comes through. Take the other red, throw Infernus. Good to go. And down it goes. Yes, the Infernus build does have a lower win rate than any Davinia build, but it wins quicker more often, at least from what I've tested with it, it wins quicker. And normally it averages out, even with its lose rate, to have a higher overall wins per hour. I haven't done like extremely extensive testing on that though. Before when I have tested, it does come out to be quicker. And I don't think having a max Davinia would really make much of a difference in that testing, even though mine isn't maxed. It would only make a few difference in HP and such. I guess it could depend heavily on what hero class you're using too. Because I don't think I was using a Dispel hero class then, which would be very helpful to have on the Ubistet version of it. Like the only using Ubistet version of it. Okay, we'll go take brown, take the red, grab purple. Can you please get full mana already? What do we need? Let's just stick right over. That'll be full mana for the Ubistet, and let's follow it up immediately. Because that should be enough damage to lower them into range. Let me just take that real quick. Throw the Ubistet down. Should be enough attack. Yeah, it is. And then we just repeat the cycle again, and that'll be matched. Throw it on you. Throw an Infernus. Get a little bit more mana. And we just Ubistet and dead. There we go. And how many do we get? Come on, a lot. 2 of them. Wow, really lucky this time. We got 3 and then 2. Not a single 0 today on the pets. Oops, that's not what I meant to check. How many elemental thingies do we have? I don't think we've gotten it to Mythic yet, but hopefully it's pretty close, because that's actually really nice to have if we're going to do Mass Explore. Where is it? I'm looking for the little bug. Magma Pillar. We need 6 more copies. 7 more copies, I mean. We're almost there. Very, very close. But that's a really nice one to get up. I believe that gives us 1 higher HP. I believe it gives 1 higher attack too, though that's not as relevant. The main thing that it would give is 1 higher HP when we use a Sunbird, Rowan Firebomb team, which isn't that big a difference, but 1 HP does make the difference of us actually hitting, well, 1 more damage on Sunbird, which can definitely start adding up when the value is so ridiculously low in that game mode. Anyways, let's go take out this Divine team with a the Davinia version of this. Okay, so let's go get that in there. Put a Davinia there, and see what this can do. And I assume you switch the banner to all-in Davinia, because that's pretty much what you do when you use Davinia. And there we go. Okay, let's give this a shot then. Divine Protector, Davinia, Ubestead, Divine Spala. I'm not using correct hero class, but almost all the time I will not be using correct hero class. Just because we're leveling certain ones. I don't know, maybe we'll go level Rune Priest. I believe Rune Priest has this spell. So maybe we could actually extensively test one of these other teams next week. What am I doing? I should have already exploded. But we'll do that. Luckily, he's not using hero in first slot for whatever reason, so it's actually really easy to kill it with that now. Normally, the issue would be, as you can see, hero has the high stirability. Even when he doesn't have 20%, he has high stirability. And that's going to make it really tanky compared to everything else on the team, which makes it slightly harder to try to get it to be the lowest 2 durabilities on the team. I'll go do that, throw Davinia back down, and that'll be enough to clean it up, as long as he doesn't barrier here. And if he does, I have no way to get rid of it. Luckily, he doesn't. We'll go do that. Throw it down again. Throw it down again. And then we just go into this. Put Ubestead on it. Or actually, you know what? We might as well take a skull, and down it goes. Hey, we actually gained a level right on time. Well, that's a pretty good thing to end on then. Level 91 Bard, and we'll get the other 9 levels off of Guild Wars eventually. No need to actually max it yet. But, yeah, I guess that's it for now. Thank you all so much for watching. Again, we'll be back same time tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll be going over all the new invasion stuff that's coming in. Quite a few interesting things. We'll also be doing the video and covering that, hopefully in about 10 hours from now, 12 hours from now, whenever the video actually gets up. But we'll be covering that tomorrow morning, going over all of the new event stuff for next week. Other than that, we have a lot of things coming next week. Next Wednesday is Yellow Guild War Pet, or the one that gives a armor bonus to all yellows when you use a 4x yellow team. Thursday is class event for Archer. Archer's kind of mid-range, kind of average, really well-rounded hero class though. The tree for it's pretty horrible though. And Friday will not only be a new Mythic, but it will also be a new, or not a new, but a treasure gnome event, so you'll have a higher chance of finding treasure gnomes for all of next weekend, from Friday reset until Monday reset next week. And you'll also have a higher chance of finding vault keys, as well as vault keys in vault keys. So if you've been saving any vault keys, this weekend is when you would use them. And we're actually going to have 6 of them, because we're getting another one tomorrow during that. And other than that, don't forget, in the Soul Forge right now, Dragon Soul is available. Very, very, very insanely good to go and craft a Dragon Soul. Very helpful for just soul accumulation, damage output, and mana accumulation. Does basically everything you would ever need, essentially, which is pretty cool. And one of the few legends that are actually worth crafting, and really, really highly advised to get as early as possible, because it makes things a lot easier with a 4x dragon team. But anyways, guys, I'll see you all later. Hope you all enjoyed the week. Best of luck if you're going to be opening event keys, as next week is a okay week to open event keys. Once the event switches over, it's going to have things like Queen Titania and Glitterclaw, which are the 2 best Fairy Fire options in the game. It also has Suna as a possibility in their drop table, but I'm pretty sure anyone who wanted to get Suna already got Suna. But if you didn't, and you still want it for whatever reason, it is available all next week as well in the event keys. Anyways, guys, I'll see y'all later. Thanks for coming down, and goodbye, everyone.